Hello, hello, hello there, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Well, it looks like the storm Debbie has passed through my area and is now headed somewhere else. But we have a lot of water, as you can see here. I don't know if you can see that, but the deck is saturated with water and everything is just very wet. But, it's not too bad because I think that with all of this rain that the garden is now very well saturated, and that even my hydrangeas back here on Hydrangea Lane that had shriveled up. It was terrible. I thought I'd lost my hydrangeas, that they are now well hydrated and looking very happy. It's just really nice to see everything so lush and full of life here. And this bed has really grown out a lot. Speak a lot about it because it's just beautiful. I just really love it. And if you didn't see my little clip, I added this new panicle hydrangea. Yeah, and look at it. It is loving it here. And with all that rain, look how healthy it looks. All of the hydrangeas have been restored and they're just looking so good, full of life. As I said, I was really concerned about them. I thought that I had lost them and that they weren't going to rebound so well, but wow, that water has done it for my hydrangeas, and they look healthy. Now you could see the effects of the heat and so forth because of the fact that the flower heads, look at that. You see how they were wilty? How they wilted like that? And the reason why is because, I don't know, they just weren't getting enough water. But surprisingly, this one right here, this hydrangea mophead, that is bridal bouquet, endless summer, and that is a later hydrangea. This one I got this one first, and a couple of years before that. So I believe that the improvement, you can see the significance and the improvement by this one here. Yeah, bridal bouquet, which that is a propagated bridal bouquet. And look at how well it stood out. But then this one here, I think, is the next hydrangea plant that I bought. And I think I got this one from QVC too. It's a different blue. I don't know the name of it. But this one stayed very, very well. I don't know if it's because it got more water, and when the neighbors were watering their garden, they ended up spraying over here too as well. I don't know if that's the case, but that one looks good. And then this is a different one also. That one, that's a different hydrangea. And of course the lace cap hydrangeas. The lace caps did very well. Now these are the two new ones that I got from Costco. And I had to just keep on watering them during that time. But then this is the lace cap, and this one looks pretty decent here. You know, it drooped a little bit, but it held up. So, I'm really happy for the restoration of my hydrangea ling. One of the continuing highlights for this week here of August 10th is the hibiscus. This hibiscus is just doing really, really well. And with all of that rain, though, it's kind of affected the flowers a bit. But then I think with the hibiscus, it's only one flower each time. They just, it produces a new flower and then it fades. So it depends on how many buds you have there. And I still have some more, so I will be seeing the flowers open up for, I figure, the rest of August. I'll have flowers. And then this other one here, it's so pretty, along with the hibiscus, the rose of Sharon, yeah. The pink, so that's the pink, and then you have the lavender or purple, and then this bright red here. So pretty. I was kind of concerned about how this upper bed would handle all of the rain, because of course, the blooms, they're a little bit more tender, but they seem to be doing okay. And here's my 4 o'clocks. Look at that color. Just fitting in so well with the other flowers. I just really love how my garden has transitioned and the color scheme that's going on here. It's just really beautiful. And then on this side too, it has done very, very well with all that rain. I like how my little lime hydrangea's handling it here. It's doing really well. The colors, so pretty. And the cosmos, yeah, is bushing out and flowering, which is good. And then it's so nice to see the purple phlox here in the garden. The colors are just nice. And then I also have the zinnias. I did cut some of the zinnias here because I want them to bush out and to really fill out. So you have to cut the flowers. I don't want to. I love my phlox with the roses here in the bed. And yeah, you could tell that they're about to fade again here. And the rain kind of affected, I think, the bee balm a little bit. So soon I will cut back the bee balm and it'll flush out and give me some new I believe I'll get some new blooms from them. But look at this. I love how the cleome is looking here. So I guess you could say that it fared pretty well. And it's loving the water, definitely. Loving the rain. I do like these marigolds here. These marigolds are from seeds saved from last year. I don't think I direct sowed the seeds here. I think I started them in another area and then transplanted them over here. And they are doing fantastic. I love the different types and the ones that have color in them as well. Really pretty. I love this. Definitely going to save these seeds so that I can have them return next year. Here's one that's a little deeper too in color there. So I just like them all together. They look good. Of course, they look great too with my okra. Also a hydrangea plant that I propagated here, and look at how much more stronger the plant is compared to the other plants that are in the sun too, because look, this is the Nico Blue, and it struggled a lot here, and the blooms, they held their blooms, but it almost dried out. It could be also location too, but I think that propagated plants just seem to do so much better. I like how this is. Well, it's about to rain again. It seems like the rain isn't finished. So I'm going back in, but have a happy Saturday, everybody, as we grow together in Catherine's garden and home. Oh, yeah. Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. I'm excited about planting my little collard green seedlings. These collard greens are from seeds that are from my property. Yep, I grew collard greens and they flowered and seeded, and these are from those seeds in my garden. I can't wait to plant them out in the landscape. I sowed these seeds last month in July, I think around the 17th, and it's just taken them this amount of time. I am ready now to put them in the landscape as well as to place them in a container that I have here on the deck. I've just planted them out in the landscape, and I am hoping that the strong will survive here. Those seedlings that are strong will grow, and then I will weed them out, those that are not as strong, and that they will last through the winter into the spring. I've just planted some more of the collard greens here in this container. I am thankful for my harvest for today, August 16th, 2024. I was able to harvest my okra, corn, peppers, red bell peppers and green, a zucchini, which I was very surprised about because I thought that I wouldn't receive any more zucchinis. But yeah, I found the zucchini, and some cherry sweet 100 tomatoes. I am thankful for this harvest, and I know that there's more to harvest because I can see more fruit on the branches and shrubs and on the vine. Thank you. I love this time in August when my perennial hibiscus start to bloom their beautiful flowers. They only bloom the flowers for one day, so you really have to capture them. It forces me to come into the garden up in this area and just admire and appreciate every single bloom. I also like how my hydrangeas are doing well and the sedum are changing color. It's just a beautiful time here in August just to experience all of the different colors and shapes and sizes of things, and just to be thankful. This is a time to smile, a time to appreciate each and everything in the garden. I am just loving my garden on this Friday. The 16th of August. It's just filled with life. Today is Friday, August 16th, and this is what the garden looks like. It was raining this early morning, and so now the garden is just very fresh and alive, and this section is just filled with bees buzzing. They are just so happy. So full of color and life. The bees just love this plant. So I'm definitely helping the pollinators. My garden is a pollinator garden. I love roses, and I love this Pinkabell rose. It has been such a showstopper throughout the season, continually blooming and giving me beautiful flowers to enjoy. I'm just so pleased to see how this little patch of land has just expanded with beautiful marigolds, my kale, dinosaur kale, my pumpkin is growing, and I also have, which I'm highly excited about, is the okra. And so I'm going to harvest these okra pods and we're going to use them in cooking. But I just love the flowers. You see the flowers of the okra? They have that same appearance like the hibiscus, because they're part of the hibiscus family. And they have a lot of pods, a lot of flowers are coming. So I'm going to harvest them and put them in my meal today, because I've been harvesting different things, but I just love the beauty of the garden, even with the vegetables, that you can create a beautiful space. I'm also harvesting these tomatoes. It's so beautiful. They're so ripe that they're falling on the ground, so I want to beat that. So I'm going to just harvest my Roma. This is like a Roma style tomato. These are so delicious and plentiful. I'm going to pick this one up also. Hopefully the worms didn't get it. Yeah, it feels firm. Feels firm. So I'm going to add it to my collection here. Yeah, so I don't really see any more, but that is so beautiful. Yeah, and as you can see, things are just growing real quickly here in the garden. This is my corn area, and I just picked the corn from here. This is the first corn of the season, and as you can see, the corn is developing here, and this is so exciting to see the corn developing. This was the first selection that we had, the first sowing, I want to say, the first sowing here, and then I have another sowing, and then here in the garden I have the next sowing, which is right here. And I am so excited about what is happening in the garden, to see the corn. Yeah, and to have my first corn here to sample with my family. I'm also collecting the tomatoes and also a okra. Yep, so this is harvest time and cleanup time here at Catherine's Garden and Home. After gathering the produce, the next step will be to cook. And I've been trying to just gather enough produce for the meal for the day versus gathering extra and then not knowing what to do with them. Excited about the plum tree here, and this is another part of my food forest, And the plums are in, yes, in number here. Now the last 2 years I didn't have any plums, but this year I have plums, and I'm excited about that. This is a Stanley plum tree, but the only thing that I don't understand is what this is. I don't know. That has been happening to the plum tree. So if you know anything about what that is, and you can give me some information on that, that would be great. I did not spray it this year, but it still has produced, and I am so happy. I'm looking forward to having plums, and the plums are all the way up the tree. All the way up the tree. It's raining out here, so that's what you hear. You're hearing the rain. And then this is my other. This is the golden egg plum tree. Golden egg plum tree. And this plum tree is doing fantastic as well. I have a lot of plums growing in the tree, and I will have plums. I did sample one, and it's not ready yet, but it's starting to get sweet. There are some, I noticed that there are some wormy things that want to get into it, especially at the sweet area. But when I cut it away, it hasn't bored as deeply in to the fruit. And you can see it weighted here. See that? Oh, that's so beautiful. I decided to go ahead and start to harvest some of the plums, and these are the golden egg plums that I picked from the tree, and they look so good. I think I'm going to just let them sit here for a little bit and ripen in the basket. But then these plums here, these are the Stanley prune-like plums, and they also are ripening and falling off of the tree. So I said, wow, they're ready to be harvested as well. I was also able to harvest some corn today, 2 cucumbers, a pepper, some cherry tomatoes, which I have plenty more to harvest. This has been definitely a tomato harvesting year for me, a plentiful harvest with tomatoes. and they got kind of smothered by the other weeds and the purple perilla, but they did get bigger. Look at that. I was able to at least see them grow to a little bit of a size here, and it is definitely time to harvest them. Look at this one. Yeah, so I am pulling them up. Some of them are still small. They probably could have stayed in there a little longer. But for my really first time pursuing this growing onions, I think that, at least this one, look at that one, that's a good size. I think that I've done a good job here. Here's some more onions. Look at that. That's a good size. This one here, good size. Well, not that one. But this one here is good size, yeah. And I'm gathering them here. You see that I have, you know, and one thing about these onions, that they are very strong. If you add them to your meals, say you're making an omelet or cooking something, because it's fresh from the ground, it's very intense. It really has a nice strong flavor. So a little goes a long way. And I'm just very happy with this. So what I'm going to do is continue to clean out this space, because I want to set up for the next batch of onions or even garlic. I had garlic before in this bed. I had some garlic, and I did not, I let things just cover them up, and so I wasn't able to harvest them, but the few that I did harvest did develop into cloves, and I am very pleased about that. So this is it for now. Pleased with the work that I did this morning in clearing up this space here and gathering my onions. That's the last of the onions that I found. And I shifted the pots, the mint, the oregano, and put them in the center with the blueberry. And now they will get more sun because they're not going to be shrouded by the wonderful purple perilla that you see over there. But then here you get to see what's happening in this bed a little bit more. You get to see the zinnias that I had planted and the tomatoes that are here, along with the kale that I grew earlier, and it's just looking really good. The corn that I harvested today, I have some peppers there, and they'll get the sunlight. And also the beautiful dinosaur kale will get a chance to breathe a little bit more. And my okra, I'm so pleased with the okra here. At first they were struggling in this area, but now they are starting to develop their pods, which is so fantastic. Look at that, look at the pods. And I've been gathering them. So it's good. And the corn that's coming up here on this side, this is my second batch of corn here. That was the first one over there, and this is the second batch here. So this is what it looks like, and I'm really pleased with the work that I did today. There's still so much to do, as you know, so much, but this has been fantastic. I feel satisfied. is the onions that I gathered and harvested today on Friday, August 23rd. And I am just pleased because this is my first time really pursuing planting onions, and I did this in the spring, and I have a video of that. And so I did not do the best job with them, but I'm very impressed still with some of the sizes of some of them, how they developed. And now that I know better, I know how to grow them, I will be able to do a better job for next year. I'm thinking maybe of just putting back in those smaller ones back into the ground and seeing if they will come up. They probably will sprout flowers, probably go to seed, but or maybe just use them in different dishes. A couple of them, they will, because they have such an intense flavor. I've been harvesting the onions little by little, but this is the big harvest because I want to do something different with that section. So here it is, and I'm pleased. I'm pleased with the different ones, and I'm just going to let them sit out here, dry up a little bit, and then rinse them, some of them, or I'm thinking of putting them in the freezer, packing them up in little baggies and putting them in the freezer so that we could use them throughout the winter. Well, it won't take us through the whole winter. I think definitely for the fall. Welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. I have just been looking through my pictures and some videos of August, and wow, has it been such an exciting month. So many wonderful things have been produced here in my garden, from flowers to vegetables, even fruit. And you know what? I was just so lucky to discover that I had at least one apple on my apple tree. On this August morning, in the last week of August, the flowers in this bed are just so beautiful. My curly pink rose has really been exploding with flowers. It's just been a miraculous time in the garden. This late August morning has been so spectacular with color and sound in the garden. I'm amazed at how the cosmos and roses and purple phlox just opened up to reveal such beauty. Even having this beautiful color from the pumpkins on the vine, the pumpkin flowers, and of course my roses. Curly pink rose. What a beautiful flush of color. Parts of the garden were stressed from the heat, but yet, even though the heat played a toll on my garden, still the rains came and soothed the garden. Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. Can you believe it that this is the last Sunday in August? I am just so surprised, even though it is that. It's just like if the summer just went by so fast and our gardening season has just moved along so rapidly. But I'm glad that I have been recording my year here in the garden, this season, this garden and growing season of 2024. And I'm so glad that you've decided to come along with me. So let us just go for a walk. We're going to walk around the garden. Each day I am just experiencing something new in my garden, and it's amazing because what I've noticed is that the 4 o'clocks have been getting more larger and bushier, and what I'm hoping is that next year that they will self-seed in this bed, and that they will grow and they will perennialize in a sense, or self-seed, and fill this bed up for this time of the year. And they look so nice with the purple perilla and the white variegated grass there. As you can tell, today is a sunny day. We've been getting a lot of rain last week or the week before, but the last couple of days, though, it has been dry. And so we've had to take out the water hose and just wet everything down. And it is a lot of effort to do that. It takes a lot of effort to do that. But it's a necessity, because if you don't do it, then you won't have a garden, because everything will just dry right out. But I'm just pleased with what we have here, and we just have to keep working at it to keep everything alive and flourishing. My husband and I have really enjoyed the plums, and they have just been ripening, and he has just had a heyday, a lot of fun just picking the plums. And so now we have the plums at the top here that we need to pursue and get. And it just reminds me of when I was a young girl. We had 2 plum trees like this in my father's yard, in our backyard, and we would just enjoy eating the plums. And I'm so glad to have the success with the plums this year. It has made it worthwhile buying fruit trees and knowing that I can benefit from them. The other fruit tree that did well this year and has really grown and has had really great growth is my fig tree here. And it's not really a tree, it's more like a shrub or bush. It's wild, but I am so glad to see it develop really strong stems, and I can see fruit there. The only problem is I don't think that it will have enough time to develop, but I did get some fruit from the earlier from the first flush. Sorry, I'm just trying to capture it that I forgot what I was saying. But you all are so patient with me. Thank you. You know, it's a lot trying to record and speak at the same time, and then you're watching. It's really become a process here. But thank you. I have to stop and say thank you to my audience for being patient with me. My tomatoes continue to produce, and I have a lot of green tomatoes here that will ripen, and I also have these sweet 100s which have been flourishing here in the garden, and it is a wonderful thing because I think this has been one of the successes here. That last year I had allowed it to get so shrouded by the pumpkins and other things that the tomatoes really did not get a chance to grow and to really flourish in the garden. So I didn't have a lot of tomatoes. But this year I learned my lesson and decided that I wanted tomatoes, and that I would make sure that the tomatoes would get enough light, enough space, and they would be able to flourish here in my garden. And it has worked out. So this has been a great success right here, the tomatoes. I can say that this is what has been the success story, or the abundance has been with the tomatoes. Yeah, and then having the tomatoes right here with these yellow flowers, because these flowers are very much a pollinator's haven. The pollinators just love this area, so that the tomatoes are getting pollinated and just very, very fruitful. And all of the different tomatoes that I had purchased have been very, very productive. Now I've come in, and like the yellow leaves, I'm going to have to do that again here with this group, but I definitely have been cutting back the leaves that are dried and yellowing, so that we can maintain this beautiful process of growth going on here. And I'm going to have to harvest some of these tomatoes. Now this type of tomato is called like a Roma tomato, and they grow in clusters, but then after a certain time they fall off. They're very, very sensitive. So I like to harvest them when they look like this, because then that way I don't lose them. And then I let them continue to ripen on the kitchen table. I'm thankful because I can see a pumpkin developing, and that is so exciting because I didn't think I was going to get any pumpkins at all. And this is the Sweet 100s pumpkin that I had planted here, and I'm really happy to know that I'm going to get some pumpkin, at least one or two, and I can make a pumpkin pie. I'm excited about that. Now you can see here that the pumpkins are moving through the okra, and the okra is doing fantastic here. This has been another success. Last year I had grown okra, but I put it in another section and I didn't give the okra space to develop. But this year I decided that I would give it a prominent space, and it was the best thing ever because now it is producing. And so what I've been doing is I have been harvesting the okra and then freezing them, chopping them up and freezing them, putting them in the freezer. So I'll have some for later on when I want to have the taste of summer with the okra. These dinosaur kales are doing fantastic. Right now I'm not using these. I'm allowing them to grow up and to get sturdy and strong. But I have some in the inner garden, kitchen garden area that I've been cutting and using and eating on a regular basis. So that is good. And I just love these marigolds. They're just such a highlight here. And I have to make sure that I save the seeds of the marigolds. I just love how this looks. And there's something about the aesthetics of the garden. I just love how it looks. I'm into that. I'm into the look. And I'm into the allowing the garden to be free, you know, with a little help from myself here to keep it in order. And at this time of the year, the garden has a way of just growing, just expanding. And so, you know, I have to be out here cleaning up and making sure that everything has room to fully express itself. On this side, I have my collard greens. And this one right here, this is from last year. And it continues to grow. And it's giving me some leafy greens, which is fantastic, that I'll have for the winter. But I did plant in 1, 2, 3, 4 new plants here and this side. But then I also threw out some seeds from the same plant, and here's one that's growing up. Look at that. And these are some more seedlings here. As you can see, there's something eating them, probably a slug, but this one is standing strong and tall, which is good. And I'm glad that they have the space to grow and also the sun so that they can really be well established for the winter, that we can come out here, run out here and get us some more collard green leaves, get the taste of summer in the fall and the winter. And these leaves, this is very perennial, it kind of like perennialized. And these leaves lasted a long time, well into early spring. Dinosaur kale, which needs to be propped up, and also collard greens here. And there are two different types of collard greens, and you can kind of tell by the leaves. This is a different collard green from this style over here. I have my peppers as well, that's here, and the corn, and then this banana pepper here. So, you know, they're finishing up, but looking very good. Just looking very nice. I love it. My flowers are doing well here. The cleome continues to show some beautiful, beautiful flowers. I just love the cleome. I really love my cleome, and they have self-seeded here in my garden. But right now they're at a point where I can gather seeds. So I love this color. So what I'm doing is I'm going to just, since it's opened up, I'm going to just gather the seeds here and put them in the envelope for next year. So now I will have seed, and I won't necessarily have to buy seed, but I can shake it out later on in spring and allow it to grow. So I'm starting to save seeds in my garden, cleome. And it looks like the purple phlox is having a second run of it here, which is nice. Bee balm is just about finished. And then my canna is here. It hasn't flowered yet, but it's there. I think that maybe the leaves are kind of turning yellow here with this. I may have too much water, I'm not sure. But it's still very colorful. And then of course my zinnias. And I just love, 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 love my rose. This is mother pearl rose. And it is just holding its own here, giving me some beautiful, beautiful color in the middle of all of this. I've enjoyed August because of the beautiful bounty of vegetables, and also the fact that what I've put so much effort into harvesting and planting and watering and caring for have now produced for me in such abundance with vegetables and flowers. It's just great to see that over the years, if you continue to put good effort into creating something beautiful, that it will produce for you. You just have to have patience. Thank you so much for joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. And I just want you to know that I'm excited about this time of the year because of the fact that we get to harvest. And I am going to try and add some different cooking and and so forth if I can get to it. But come and join me here and let us grow together. Let us enjoy the garden together.